Greetings, everyone, and he is Groot. He is Groot. He is Groot. Even this little guy, top of Rocket's head, is Groot. But especially this guy, he is Groot for sure. And I just came back from seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Vol.2, in case you couldn't tell by the shirt and the giant bobblehead. And it was everything I thought of, and even more. I was very surprised how much they expanded on of course, the Marvel Universe once again, as well as the Guardians themselves, how they've expanded not just the ranks, but as well as the characters, especially Drax gets some really great scenes in this movie, but he also has there's good two scenes in it that really draws out his past more. Even Gamora has really good scenes as well, especially with Nebula. If if you've seen the trailers, you probably could tell something's gonna happen there. Um, and of course, the main being, and there's even scenes with Rocket as well. And of course, Babe Groot is the one that steals the show every single time he is on. Every time he has a scene, he's on camera. He just steals the show. There's, there was always someone awing about how cute he was and everything, because he just does cute things. But yeah, and then of course I guess you could say main story. There's a lot of stories going on here, but they all come together in the end, and they all show how wow this group has come together and has developed, and why they got together to say you know hey, it's such a motley crew that it's just crazy how they all came together, and it makes sense in a lot of ways. And in this movie, of course, you do get Ego, which is really pretty impressive considering the character. If you know comics at all, they play him pretty straight actually, as far as not making him a joke, just like how they pretty much the same way they kind of did with like Thor's helmet with the wings. They made it legit, pretty much. They made it relative. They made it doable. They made it connect to the universe and to create on that universe, and it is really great. Uh, yeah, man, I'm definitely not disappointed in this movie. It meets all my expectations and even exceeds a lot of them. The music, of course, once again, is very incredible selection that they chose here, and it's very impressive how wow they could choose these songs. Granted, there seems to be more music in this one compared to the first one. I could be wrong. I should have saw the first one before seeing this one again, but to my memory, I believe there was a lot less music, less band music. Actual musicians and stuff, not just a soundtrack where they have subtle ambient music and stuff like that. Uh, there's definitely a lot more. It seems like so. It was interesting, and the soundtrack that they chose was less, not as leaning towards more rock heavy, faster pace and stuff like that. There were a couple songs, but they even those songs were very not as explosive as say like Cherry Bomb or um, especially Cherry Bomb, especially from the first one. But yeah, it's just more subtle, more meaning to the songs, especially, and they even have references to it in the story that they give, which is very impressive to see another Guardians movie this fast, this developed, to say, you know, this is definitely a really big movie and a big series is the Guardians, and I really look forward to Volume 3, which, yeah, man, at the end it was very cool. I mean, everything was really cool. I do like that they made Drax and Gamora more superhuman compared to the first one, where they were more durability and agile. But in this one, they actually show them, leaping larger than normal. They actually show them strength wise, how they are. Like I said, Baby Groot has his great moments. Uh, Rocket has some really good moments once again. Really good, quips and one-liners, just like what Quill, and overall, it's just a great movie. These are such great movies, man. It's such a good break compared to all the other superhero movies, especially DC movies. But even most Marvel movies, it's more entertainable. It's more enjoyable than say like Civil War stuff. Granted, the Captain America Civil War did have its great moments, but they were more concentrated in certain areas in the film. Where this one's you know just a great ride throughout the whole movie, and it's pretty touching as far as the story that comes into the play with Ego and Quill. Um, I was really impressive, like how they tied everything together, and there are, of course, I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, it's it's really it draws up some emotions if you've gone through some of these situations with not growing up with a father and stuff like that, and I saw a lot of parallels and stuff like that. So that was really got a little, you know, not too real, but a couple things in there were pretty deep. But yeah, overall, I don't want to spoil the ending and stuff like that because the trailers really don't show you. They show you just enough to get you interested, but not enough to actually spoil anything. Like the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer, to say the least. I mean, there's a lot of trailers that kind of spoil stuff like that, but that's the latest one. And yeah, it's just overall, it's such a great movie. Once again, it's just I really, I really hope that they really bring the Guardians into the Infinity Wars, and it feels like it, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they come into play when that rolls around. But besides that, there are end credits, which this one has 5 end credits. Well, it's more like 4 credits, mid credits, and 1 actual end credit. And the end credit is really it's pretty good. Um, but yeah, the Stanley cameo once again is really this will kind of lays claim to some theories on Stanley being having these cameos in the movies, and I think Marvel kind of took the hint and might have confirmed it in a way. But yeah, it's overall just A+ movie. It's great, 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 great. I'm sure it's going to do lots of money bringing in this over this weekend, especially with Free Comic Book Day being this weekend. That's pretty good timing, I would say. But yeah, overall, highly, highly, highly recommend it. And if I could bring up my schedule here real quick, I will tell you which movie is coming up next. But I do have an unboxing soon. It will be the DC Legion of Collectors. I believe mine just got sent out, so it should be coming up soon. Maybe not this week, but maybe Saturday night at the earliest. Definitely look forward to that. If you're interested, I'll definitely have more codes for some Marvel comics, and I might hit up my local comic book store on Saturday for Free Comic Book Day. So we'll see about that. But next movie will be King Arthur, which looks interesting, to say the least. Um, so we'll see about that next week. So till then, guys, we are Groot. Later.